welcome back to my channel. And today we are finally having on camera and testing out for the first time a palette that by this time is pretty much old news. But I have heard nothing but good things when this shiz was getting teased and it was released and it kept selling out, and I was like, you know, I'm probably just sort of coming to the realization that it's probably not gonna be in my life for whatever reason. And then one day I was like cycling through Ulta, I think I had some points, and I was like, oh, look, there it is, in stock. I guess I was saving my points for a reason. And that was for the PUR X Raw Beauty Kristi double-sided palette. Y'all, when this shiz dropped, it was just all kinds of whatever within the community. Everyone was so happy, so excited. Raw Beauty Kristi is a fantastically underrated subscriber. The fact that she only somewhat recently hit that 1 million subscriber mark is kind of, you know, a little bit bewildering to me because she is just a phenomenal content creator. So obviously I wanted to support her, and also, like I said, I'd heard really good things about this palette, even though this is only the third time that I have tried PUR eyeshadows. The first time was that My Little Pony palette, which y'all know did not go well. And then the second time was a palette that I got through Octoly, which wasn't my favorite either. But I had heard really good things about this shiz. It's got two sides going on here. We've got this fantastically beautiful bright side here. Matte to shimmer ratio, absolutely fantastic. You got all these mattes and a shimmer, and the same for the more neutrally side, all mattes and a shimmer. I am actually really, as much as I love color and as much as there are a lot of shabing bing bang bang shades in here, this color story over here, this neutral side, was really effing me up. So that's the side we're going to be playing with today. I mean, this mustard, this like kind of like I don't know, orangey. Then we've got the purpley mauve tones and these rich dark. This whole section here is kind of reminiscent of the Milk Cosmetics Rust palette, which y'all know is my shiz. So we're just gonna have a little play around with this, have a little talky, sit down, get ready with me situation. I know a lot of y'all enjoy those. I enjoy these, especially when I'm feeling kind of like creator content burnt out, where I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I've been doing all these different things. I'm running out of ideas. Sometimes it's just good to bring it back to basics and just play with makeup. So that's what we're gonna do today. Brought y'all in a little bit closer so you could actually see me sweat in real time. I think, oh my stars, I'm gonna have to start off with this shade Camelot right here. It's just, y'all know that shade is my shiz. I don't think I'm gonna be filming anything after this, so we're just kind of going in and having fun and doing whatever. I have been experiencing a little bit of weirdness with my eyes, with like eyeshadow not wanting to adhere, so I have been playing around with some primers, and I've had pretty good luck with the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer Potion Original. I've got some other ones I want to try. I've got the Too Faced one I want to try. Y'all know I am not a fan of that Kaleidos makeup one. I really wanted to like it because I enjoy so much by that company, but the eyeshadow primer was just a no-go. I'm not sure what it was trying to do, but it did not end well. I'm not very experienced when it comes to primers. I just kind of shellapped that stuff all over my lid. So I'm going to be using my Essence Eye Blender brush, and we're just going to go right into Camelot and see what's what. Maybe we will find the holy grail. That be pigmented. Love me some pigmentation. Like I said, I'd heard really good things about this palette, you know, pigmentation, blendability. And I feel like Raw Beauty Kristi is one of those like content creators that wouldn't, like, she is so real and honest. She wouldn't put something out there that she didn't believe in. I feel like some creators can be very cash grabby, whereas she's just really honest, which is part of the reason why she's so appealing, because as much as we'd like to think, honesty isn't really a 110% practice thing on the platform. Morals can get a little bit muddy when it comes to money. And not gonna lie, I was actually watching a live stream between Emily Hanhan and Audra. It was talking about makeup we love to hate, and they were like influencer collabs, and Audra and them both, they were like, you know, not gonna lie, we trash talk on this, but you know, if there was a big enough dollar sign, we would say yes, whether it was a, you know, if it was a brand that we weren't necessarily completely sussed with. And I mean, it's true. I mean, I feel like people sometimes forget, you know, content creators gotta eat. And as sad as it may seem, sometimes just doing videos isn't enough to pay the bills. Okay, that turned out really, really nice. This beautiful, like, not dandelion, yeah, dandelion yellow, kind of. A little bit mustardy. I like a little bit of mustard in my eyeshadow, not on any of my foods. I am not a condiments person. My husband always asks me, why do you have such a terrible palate? Because he loves all things spicy mustard, fun, different sauces, and I am just not that kind of a person. So anytime he asks me, why doesn't your palate understand the subtle intricacies of, like, condiments? I'm like, well, why doesn't your palate understand the subtle intricacies of seltzer water, flavored seltzer water, which y'all know is my shiznit. Right, so far so good. La 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 la. This has been a really nice blending experience. I'm not entirely sure when this video is going up. It should be fairly soon after I film it. I've got a couple different get ready with me style videos I'm gonna do. I'm going to be doing a video trying Odin's Eye cosmetics, which I've been wanting to do for a long time, since before I left the Linden house. And then I have one where I'm going to be trying out Kimchi Chic Beauty. A couple of y'all asked, they were like, hey, I know you love heart motifs. How are you holding out with all those like heart motifs? They came out with like highlighters, blush duos, bronzers, contour duos. The packaging is very like Polly Pocket-esque, which as a 90s child, I'm really into that. So I do have a video where I will be trying that out. Obviously it's not up yet. Maybe it is. I don't know. I just filmed these, and then after I film and edit and upload and all that, we'll then see when it actually goes live. Because if you don't know then, you will know now. I pre-film. That is just what I do. That's why a lot of my anti-hauls occasionally seem outdated, where I'll talk about something that was like teased or released like 2 months ago. And that's because I don't have the freedom to just kind of drop everything and have the time and the ability to just like, all right, I'm gonna film a video, I'm gonna edit it, and I'm gonna have it up within the next 12 hours. In order for me to get the most bang for my buck content-wise, I gotta pre-film. All right, I think we are looking all kinds of marigold goodness. I mean, quite honestly, I'd give this palette an A-OK just for this shade. It is beautiful. All right, now let's get some depth up in here. I'm gonna be taking my IT brushes for Ulta. Oh my goodness, this is so worn out. Number 107. Really expensive, highly recommend these, and we are going to be going into Told You, which is this kind of like, I don't know, it's a brown. It's a very pretty brown. I think it'll go well with this. Gonna get a little bit of that up in there. I'm not seeing lots of fallout, so we'll see if that is able to maintain itself. And sometimes my lids just don't want to accept color. I'm not entirely sure what that's about. I probably just hit 30 and now my body has decided that it's just gonna go downhill from here. My best friend, her last birthday, she turned 25 and she's like, why am I in so much pain? Why is my body being weird? And I was like, I hate to break it to you, sweetie, but it doesn't get any better. We got minimal fallout going on. Y'all know that doing my makeup like this typically doesn't have the best results, but I try. I really do. My best work typically happens when I'm in the bathroom, in my zone, with my music blaring, in accordance to the aesthetic that I am painting my face for. But I do have to say, all in all, this is blending very nicely. I'm not having too crazy amount of like, oh, I don't want to adhere. I always find it funny on camera, like the blending looks so much more patchier than it does in person, which I find funny because a lot of things like my complexion typically looks better on camera than in person, but I am most definitely not mad at it. Let's take a look-see with the other eye. Like I said, no, not seeing any kind of fallout over here. Is much appreciated. Now this is typically the tricky eye. This is the eye that does not like accepting color in this kind of like upper brow bone area section here. Not sure what it is. My body probably just hates me. But we're actually doing pretty okay right now. So currently I am liking the Urban Decay eye primer because usually what I do, and maybe that's because I'm lame and lazy, but I just do my foundation over my eyelids and that's what I use. So recently I have been actually going for a targeted, eye primer. Kaleidos one did not work out and we're doing the Urban Decay one. And since it's working out, I'll probably use that shiz until it goes out, until I use it up, and then we'll try something different. Because y'all know your girl has been in the habit of using stuff up before she opens something new. And if that doesn't show you how long it takes to use up a product, I don't know, nothing will. Like when I first started my whole like makeup thing, I was like, oh, I can never continuously use a product. And now that I'm like trying to get through things, I'm like, please, I need you to use up. I need you to be gone so that I can try something else. Ooh, this is so nice, so pretty. I like it. Look at that. Looks horrible on camera, but I really like it in person. It's got a really nice gradation. We're looking like a fanciful sunrise, sunset moment. Very fall. Very, very, very October. Okay, I think we are looking good there. Now I'm going to take my Essence angled crease brush. I will be buried with this brush, and we're just gonna... we're gonna balls to the wall and go with, I think, B. And if that one doesn't work, that one isn't a deep enough gradation for my lusty soul, we'll go into You're Not My Real Dad. Which, I mean, props to Kristi for like the names and just the overall work on this palette. It's like so her and so on brand with who she is. Okay, all right. I see that, I think. I don't know if any of you are familiar, but I typically don't do the nice little, like, the technique where, like, you get it and then you just, like, blend like this, and I'm like, I cannot comprehend how to do eyeshadow that way. I typically do, like a swipey, patty, and then we'll do a little blendy. I don't know what it is. I just, anytime Butte Bean, I watch Butte Bean and she starts and she just whoosh. I'm like, wow, how do you control that? Because that is a technique that is beyond my skill level. Looking really, really nice. I like this. Oh, it looks so pretty. Go to the problematic eyelid over here. Like with all the other shades we've done so far, not fallout, not a lot of fallout. This eyelid might be trying to give me a little bit of trouble. It does, like I said, sometimes I'll pack on the color and it'll be there, and then I'll go to do my little blendy and it'll be like, oh, would you like me to blend away? Yes, I think you would like that very much. All right, I think we are looking good right there. Let's just pop out this lower lash line, Burp Squad. So I'm just going to start off with the Camelot shade again, and we're just going to do that all up in here. Really like this shade. Y'all know this kind of color story is my shiznit. Like I said, as much as I was like hyped about the colorful side, just the neutral side was, it was just so pretty. And for some reason I've been feeling the grungy neutrals recently. That's kind of been my aesthetic, what I've been drawn toward recently. I forgot to tell you all, this is my Real Techniques friggity frack shading brush. Looking nice there. Now we're just gonna go on in and do the B shade right here to deepen that up and connect it all sorts of nicey nice. Shades are blending really nice together, and that's something that makes me very happy. So far this definitely is a superior PUR formula. I've never been like, ah, yes, PUR eyeshadows are the bomb diggity shiznit. I absolutely love a lot of their skincare products, but when it comes to their like face products, have not been a fan of the eyeshadows, but these are performing really nicely. Now it's time to pop some shimmer on this shiz. We're gonna go right for the only shimmer in the palette, Golden Ticket, with my Moda SM shader. Let's see if this is a shimmer that will apply with a typical brush or if I have to go in with my glam topper. Ooh, there we go. Nice and sparkly. Little twinkle, little sparkle. Definitely a harder pressed shimmer than I would say that you would experience from like Anastasia or something like that. Dab, 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 dab. Get all nice and shimmy shiny. And over here, I have a feeling this would work really, really well with either a glitter glue or a tacky primer or some sort of summit like that. It's working pretty well with just the brush here, but I think if you really wanted to amp up that like va-va voom shimmerness, you'd probably want to lay down something that it's gonna adhere really, really obviously to. But all in all, it is really pretty. Then I just go in with a little bit more of this and we just kind of clean that up a little bit, make it a little more faded, a little diffused. Just like I said, for some reason it doesn't look as good on camera as it does on my face real time, but I am really, really happy with how this has turned out. I look all kinds of pretty. Hello. I'm gonna go do my eyeliner off camera. Everything I use, even if I don't use it on camera, is listed down below. Then we will do the rest of my face. We've got eyeliner now, not my best, but not my worst. Actually, funnily enough, the eyeliner looks better on camera than it does in person, so I can be appreciative of that. But now we're gonna prime my face with essentially the only primer I ever use. Oh no, there's not much coming between ya girl and her Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. I actually have the spray that they came out with. Haven't tried it yet because I'm waiting to use up another something in my collection that I'm using, but I'm really excited. It got really good reviews. I feel like when it comes to complexion products, Milk Makeup is just very much on the mark. I mean, this primer is my absolute end all be all. If a foundation does not work with this primer, well then I guess we're not going to be using the foundation. I have a few other primers that I like. I like the Too Faced one. The Colourpop one was pretty good. I have the Ciate London like watermelon one. It's a jelly type primer as well. I haven't tried that one out yet either. I'll probably do that after I run out of this Hydro Grip primer, which it's honestly not long for this world. So obviously I'll let you guys know how that goes. Absolute favorite foundation, Physicians Formula, the Healthy Foundation. I achieve my complexion with the two lightest shades, which for the longest time they only had one light shade, and then they're like, hey, we're gonna bump that up a little bit, which is really nice. This shade here is pretty much like my, I would say like January through like March, where I'm like the palest of pale ever in my life. And then this one used to be the lightest shade that they had. This one is basically if I get any kind of color in the summertime, this is the foundation I can use for that. I remember the back old, maybe not the good old days, but back when I was like, oh, well, you just use the same foundation year round, right? Yeah, no, that is not how it works, at least for me. I get pretty pasty in the wintertime. The amount of color I get in the summer is dependent on obviously how much sun I get. Around this time, I want to say last year, I was getting a fair amount of sun because I was going out and riding my trike bike just about every day. I would put sunscreen on and everything like that, but it definitely gave me probably the deepest color I've ever been in my life, which is a little bit exciting because I am not deep very often. Not that I need to be deep. Obviously, I'm not deep. I'm not out here pulling an Ariana Grande or a Nikita Dragon. I'm very happy to remain pasty. That is my German and Irish heritage all up in here. But I just find it kind of funny how back in the day I used to be like, yeah, you just get one shade and it works for you all the ding dang time. And now I'm like, no. And even anymore with like finding foundations, I can't be like, yeah, this color matches me perfectly. Typically I have to get 2 different colors to match it and make it look, you know, complexion correct, which I've learned from a fair amount of y'all that that's actually pretty common, so I don't feel bad about it. It is frustrating, especially if you're buying like a high-end foundation and you're like, well, if I buy it once, that's $40, and then if I have to buy a secondary color to make it match perfectly during different eras, then that's $80. And I don't know any of us out here wanting to pay $80 for a foundation. But y'all do know that your girl complexion is hideously important to me. If the complexion ain't popping, then might as well just tear off my whole face and throw the whole look away. Time for a little bit of concealer, Tarte Shape Tape. I think I'm finally getting down to the bottom of this. I've been trying to use this up for I don't even know how long. And it's like, you know, I do just the titchiest bit. I ain't doing like a lot of these other ones where they're just like, I'm thinking about doing a video where I do my makeup like Beauty Gurus or something like that, where I would just, you know, apply my concealer and my highlight and do contour and bronzer. Basically do my makeup how I typically never do it. So if you guys are interested in seeing something like that, definitely let me know down below. It would be much more of a comedic type video than one that was serious, because with my complexion, y'all, your girl does not have the skin to be wearing a butt ton of concealer. I just ain't got it. We ain't got no Botox. I've got 30-year-old wrinkles. I cannot afford to layer all that shiz on me. Oh, and in that video, I'd have to bake. Ugh. The thought of like sitting here with like powder just sitting on my face literally makes my skin just feel so dry. When I powder, I use the titchiest bit just to set concealer here, set here, so that, you know, when I sweat, my makeup doesn't disappear. I use just the titchy bit. And the way these people be like doing and just being like, I'm just gonna put powder all up and over my face. I'm like, no, I can't do that. And I know one thing that's been kind of like, I don't know, brought to attention is that a lot of creators, it is possible for YouTubers and whatever to use filters while they're filming, while they're doing all sorts of things where it's making their like regular normal face look all kinds of ethereal and otherworldly. I don't got the time or the money to be messing around with them fancy filters. The most filter you're gonna see is gonna be on Instagram, and literally what I do with that and my thumbnails is I put it into an editing thing and I up the brightness and then I up the contrast a little bit just to make it look a little bit more snatched, but that's about it. All right, I'm gonna be using for blush, this is the Colourpop Moulin Matchmaker Pressed Powder Blush. I did purchase this on a whim. If any of y'all remember, I most definitely anti-hold the Moulin X Colourpop or the Colourpop X Moulin collection, and then I was like, you know, I'm feeling like your girl could use a little extra blush, which I absolutely don't need. I think they were having, was it 25%? They were having some kind of sale. I have tried this blush before and I really like it. Colourpop, I'm not so sure about like just their regular pan blushes, but a lot of their collaboration blushes, like the Disney Midnight Masquerade, those blushes and highlighters, absolute perfection. And so I found with a lot of these collaborations, they're just done, formulated so well. They've got a good level of pigmentation. They blend well. This is a nice kind of nudie color. It's got like just a hint of sparkle and twinkle. Then I'm gonna take the second one, which is Good Luck Charm, which is a lot deeper and a lot more shimmery. And I'm just gonna take the exact same brush and we're just gonna ever so delicately sweep this onto the apple area and just slightly up. This has been probably my favorite thing to do recently, where I take a more matte blush and I start out with that, and then we'll just add something shimmery onto that like cheekbone area to just add a bit more dimension, a bit more depth and lift and dewiness. And I think that looks all kinds of pretty. For highlighter, I'm gonna use two ones that are in my project pan. These are the Pixie plus Aspen Ovard glowy powders. Y'all know your girl absolutely loves these. They are old, they are tired. I'm trying to get as much use as I can out of them this year and come 2021. Hence why they're in my project pan. I'm going to be using Santorini Sunset, which is the more peachier of the two. You know, you would not know that I have dug so deep and hard into these by just looking at how much product has been used. 2020 is going to be my year for project panning and use up. We are just going to get so much use out of our shiz. I've got eyeshadow palettes. It's going to be like a monthly, bi-monthly update situation. I really just want to get into the habit of using what I have, going through, using up, rather than just sort of succumbing to the need to constantly be buying new things and trying new things. You know, it's kind of like with what I'm trying to do with like clothing, where you have like a cost per wear. Like, yeah, if I buy something that's $50, but if I like wear it 5 times, that's $10 a wear. Whereas if you buy something cheap, you know, and then it's, you know, I don't know. I'm trying to do that with my makeup. All right, we are looking all kinds of glossy and glowy. It's actually kind of funny, as I was getting ready to do this video and setting aside the makeup I wanted to use, I was like, all right, I need a marigold mustard lipstick, which I came to realize that I don't have. So if any of y'all could recommend a marigold mustardy kind of yellowy goldy lipstick, by all means recommend it down below, because this was something in my collection I realized I'm lacking. So because we don't have that, we're going to be using one of my absolute favorite nudes. This is Jeffree Star Cosmetics. Crucify me down below in the comments. The Manny MUA collaboration. This is the shade Daddy. I love this shade so much. It is like a perfect, beautiful, cool, tony, whatever browniness this is. I always like to say I never got a degree in color theory, so sometimes my color depictions aren't the best. All right, so here we have the finished, completed look. It's not coming off on camera nearly as good as I think it does in person for me, but all in all, I am beyond happy with the palette thus far. Obviously, this was only my first time trying it. I will continue to use it off camera and we'll see if it ends up being in a monthly hits and misses, but so far I cannot be upset with this outcome. I would love to hear what y'all have to say about this particular palette. Like I said in the beginning, I know a lot of people really loved it, were very hyped about it, had a really good experience with it, and currently I can't say that I've had any different of an experience. It turned out really nicely. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and as always, keep it real. Mwah!